G'day, welcome back to Fading Margins, and this is episode 2 of Road Trip Reviews, and we're still in the kitchen. I took 3 kitchen cookers with me to the United States. The first one was the Trangia 25 with a few modifications, you've seen that. One was a jet boil clone, which I will get to in due course, and the third one is one of my all-time favourite stoves. It is the Bushcooker 2 by 4 Dog Stoves, made in Minnesota by Don Cavellis. And I chose to take this, not because I think I needed to, because I could have used the Trangia or I could have used the clone, but because I wanted to. It's lightweight. It is arguably one of the most useful stoves on the market today. I think you can basically use pretty much any fuel source with it. Hexamine, wood, animal droppings. I've made tea on this one up the hill before now on a warm summer's afternoon using sheep shit, and it burns like charcoal in there. It's quite a sight to behold, and very effective. You can do all sorts of things with it, but the way I opted to use it on this particular trip was with a brass Trangia burner. Now you say, well, why use a titanium stove and a brass burner? Well, because I wanted the best of both worlds. I've got an excellent stove that allows me to, gives me all sorts of options if I don't want to use the burner, and I've got what I consider to be the best alcohol burner on the market. These things have been around for so long, they're absolutely proven, they're bulletproof, they're idiot proof, they allow you to simmer, and I'll show you in a minute, but with the 4 Dog stove you can use that functionality, and the best part is they've got a seal, which means that when you're finished and you put them out and it's cooled off, you can seal it up and you can leave your unused alcohol in there. None of this nonsense of going around. I mean, hey, if that's how you want to play, that's great, right? I'm not being judgmental, but for me, it would drive me nuts having to measure out my alcohol by the gram or by the mil or the ounce or whatever it is to work out how much I'm going to need to make a cup of tea. I just want to put the damn thing on. I want it to work, and these for the tiny sacrifice of weight, these allow me that luxury. So that is how I opted to run. Now, how does it all work? Well, let me turn the camera down and I'll give you a quick look. You've probably all seen it before. So here's the stove. Okay, the stove is designed, very cleverly designed. It's a gasification stove, secondary combustion, and those jets at the top are perfectly positioned to take the Trangia burner. It just sits on those jets just like that, which means that your flame then of the burner is at the right height to the stove. So I took this pot. This is my one of my 4 Dog Stoves mini Morse pots. It's not my favorite mini Morse pot, but I couldn't bear the thought of the airline losing that one, so I left it at home. Is that moral cowardice? I don't know. So it all sits like that, and off you go, Bob's your uncle. But there's more. If you're smart, when you get your 4 Dog Stove, you'll get it with a windshield. These windshields are designed in such a way that they slide together. You can roll them up. They'll fit inside the pot around the outside of the burner, and all of a sudden you have something that is as effective in terms of keeping the wind off as the Trangia itself. Look at that. All right. If your pot's a bit big, if you brought a bigger pot, you can just open up the windshield and face the open end leeward, and you're golden. As I say, I've used the big one of these, the 3 in the Lake District with my family, in a blowing gale, making hot drinks, gets everybody's spirits up, and it was great. This thing was faultless, absolutely faultless. Let me come up again, back from the scene of action. It was absolutely faultless. as you'd expect. 2 months on the road. It sat in, I ran it in this little bag. It all sits inside the pot. It battled around the floor of the car half the time. If you had to pack up quick or anything like that, it just got chucked in and it just mucked in and got on with it. Absolutely fantastic piece of kit, and I'd highly recommend it. Any outdoorsman, or person should I say, should think about getting themselves a 4-dog stove Bushcooker. And the Bushcooker 2 is a nice size. Bushcooker 1, I got the 1. I use it with hexamine and solid fuels, and it works great. Don't get me wrong. And you can use a little speedster alcohol stove in, or put the alcohol directly into it, and that's fine. But I think that the 2 is the sweet spot for me. It's not that much bigger, but it's big enough, and as I say, it allows you to use the burner. I took 2 titanium cups with me. I took my Totes 550 because I just like the aesthetics of it. I like the size. You know, if you're going to have a drink, have a proper drink, get your hydration up, and it's got a certain hint. There's a hint of sort of cowboy about it, and the aesthetics is, you know, I'm sorry to say, well, I'm not sorry to say, is important to me. You know, I also took this baby. This is an MSR Seagull, also in titanium, and I took this because on those occasions when I did want coffee and we were using the AeroPress, that's another review I get. The AeroPress won't fit on a Totes 550. So if you're out there planning and you think you'd like to use an AeroPress and you want to buy a Totes 550, one of them's going to have to go because they're not compatible. It's too big. It'd fall through. Whereas this Seagull was fine. And also, you know, you're on the road, you meet people, and you want to be able to offer hospitality. You can't do that if you've only got a cup each. You know, it's like, oh, make you a brewmate, but did you bring your own cup? It doesn't work like that. So yeah, so I took 2 cups. There's not much to say really. Titanium cups, aluminium cups, plastic cups if you will. Do what works for you. With the windshield, Don has now changed the design on these slightly. He's put like ridges in these. He's formed these somewhat, which makes them much sort of less bendy. They're much more sturdy, but it's still a great, you know, either way, whether you get this one or the new one, it's a great product, and in combination with all the other bits and pieces, it works really, really well. Right. Well, for all you knife aficionados out there, it won't be long now. We'll be out of the kitchen and reviewing something else. In the meantime, this is Steve from Fading Margins, wishing you all health, happiness, and every blessing. I'm signing out, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.